Hi, this is Mr. Tariq Salman. I'm a teacher at Amjad High School and at Zahia Kaddura High School. In this video, I will show you some activity on space. Okay, here in the first activity, the axis of circle. Here I have a circle, including in this plane, and this one is the axis of the circle. The axis of the circle is a circle, is a line perpendicular to the plane containing the circle and passing through the center of the circle. We can check that. Okay, the distance from B to D and from B to C and from B to E, this distance are all equal. Okay, and the distance here is 6.31. If I take the point B and I go down on the axis of the circle, okay, you see that the distance change but still equal, 4.19, 4.19. This is the axis of the circle. Okay, it shows this axis of the circle is perpendicular to the plane, perpendicular to the plane that contains the circle. Okay, this is the first activity. Now other activity. Here I will show you how to plot a point on the space. Okay. Here I have a system, coordinate system, x prime or x, y prime or y, z prime or z in space, and I have to plot the point B395. First, I put the abscissa 3. After that, the abscissa 3 is the point K. I put a line parallel to y prime or y. This axis is y prime or y. I put a line parallel to y prime or y. From this point, on the axis y prime or y, I put the point 9 here. From the point 9, I do a line parallel to x prime or x that intersect with the first line and a point here. The point here is not B, the point here is a point B prime. Okay. After that, I put a line parallel to Z prime or Z from the point B prime, and I do the line O B prime, and I take the point 5 n of elevation 5 on Z prime or Z, and from point N I do a line parallel to OB prime, this line intersects with this line at this point. This point here is the point B. So this one is the method to do the construction. I go quickly to repeat that. Okay, so first 3 parallel at y prime or y, point 9 parallel to x prime or x that intersect at the point B prime. I relate O and I do first the parallel to Z prime or Z, OB prime, from on Y prime or on Z prime or Z I put the point 5, parallel from N to OB prime that intersect at the point B. Okay, here we have the point B. Okay, now other activity. The cross product of two vectors. If I have two vectors u and v here, to do the cross product of these two vectors, I take any point on the space. From this point, I do a representation of the vector u at the point O, the vector OA equal to the vector u. From the same point O, I do a representation of the vector v. The vector OB is equal to the vector v. Okay, the two vectors OA and OB are two vectors that intersect at going from the same point, so they form one plane because lines OA and OB are intersecting, so they form a unique plane. Okay, this plane, now we have this plane. The cross product of these two vectors is a vector perpendicular to this plane, passing perpendicular to this plane, and the direction, the sense of the vector W is such that the basis OA, OB, and OC is direct basis, and the norm of the vector W is equal to the norm of the vector OA or vector U times norm of vector B times the absolute value of the sine of the angle between the vector OA and vector OB. Okay, let me repeat the construction. Okay, so two vectors, point O, representative of the vector of the first vector, second vector, the plane formed by the two vectors. The vector W is this one, the cross product of U and V. Other activity. This one, I have here a segment AB, and the mediator plane of the vector of the line AB or segment AB is a plane passing through the point I, midpoint of AB, and perpendicular to AB. This one is the mediator plane. Okay. This one is the mediator plane. Okay. If I change the position of D on the plane, you can see that the distance from D to A is equal to the distance from D to B. Okay, whatever the position of D on the plane, on the mediator plane. Okay, this is the property of the mediator plane. Any point on the mediator plane is equidistant from the two extremities of the segment. Okay, sure, I can change the position, and I can, if I want to take the point B here, the point A here, and the distance is equal. Okay, let me show you other activity. Okay, what we have more? This one. This is a big mistake between students. The triangle LKA forming by three diagonals of the squares in the cube. This triangle is equilateral triangle because this one is 4.25, this is the diagonal of the square. This one is 4.24 and this one is 4.24. So this triangle is equilateral and not isosceles, not right triangle, and not other thing. Okay. So you see the angle here is 60, 60 and 60. Okay. Okay. Don't forget to check my website blogspot.tariksalman.blogspot.com, and thank you to see this video.